In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a 3D polyline for our storm and our sewer system. We're going to be creating networks. The first thing that I need to do is go ahead and create a layer for our storm. So I clicked on layer properties, and I'll bring this over here. Let me go ahead and squish this down so I can see it. I'm going to create a new layer, and we're going to call it VC Storm. I'm going to create another one called VC Sanitary. Alright, now I went ahead and created two circles. I'm going to make this one the storm where I'm going to tie in. And I just arbitrarily picked a point here, and that's fine for right now. And this one I'm going to call, and I'm going to put on layer VC Sanitary. So I'm going to have a sanitary line that comes straight down, and I'm going to have a storm that ties in over here. We're going to pretend these are our existing utilities. Now, I want to go ahead and show you how to do a 3D polyline. So I'm going to go 3P, which means a 3D polyline. Now here's where you have to start thinking. I'm going to start with my storm system. Remember how I said that we have to set an inlet where we have a lot line. So I'm going to turn my O snaps off just so I'm not snapping everywhere. And I'm going to extend off of here and put an inlet here. I'm going to have an inlet here, or a manhole here, and I'm just thinking this through. And I know the low point I want is going to be at this property line, and I'm going to have to put another low point down here, and then I'm going to tie into this existing location. We're going to assume this is an existing storm location. All right? Now, what I've created is a 3D polyline. For me to create inverts on here, or elevations associated to each vertice, then come over to your properties. If you click on this, you can see invert, or you can see vertex 1. Vertex 1 is your most upstream point, and I'm going to put a vertex Z elevation on there. Now, the elevation that we're going to be looking at is something that's going to be, if this is ground elevation at 127, I want to put 5 feet below that. So I'm going to say 225. Okay? So I'm going to arbitrarily, this is usually somebody has designed before, but I'm just arbitrarily putting this through. Now, the next vertex, and what you'll need to know is, I'm going to pull my annotation, and I'm going to start I'm going to start labeling these from endpoint to endpoint. Oops, wrong one. I want to use aligned. I'm going to turn my O snaps back on. Endpoint to endpoint. Endpoint to endpoint. And then my last one, endpoint to endpoint. Okay, the reason I need these is I need to get elevations associated based on our distance and slopes. We're going to use a continuous slope of 0.5%. So if I started up here at, if I highlight this, if I started up here at 225, if I pull the next invert down, if I click to 2, then we said over here that was 64.27 times 0.005 minus 225 gives me, this one's going to be 224.67. Now I'm going to go to invert, or vertex 3. That's going to be 306 feet away, so I'm going to subtract 306.52 times 0.005 from the 224, and I'm going to get 223.15, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to go to the next, which is now 138.44 feet times 0.05. This invert is going to be 222.45, And then last one, I've got 77 feet away, so I'm going to subtract 77.2427 times 0.005, and this one is going to be 222. So my last vertex is going to be 222.06. All right, so I've got my storm. I'm going to go ahead and erase these because I don't need this information anymore. I'm going to put this on the storm layer. I'm also going to go ahead and change the storm layer so it's something a different color. Go to my Home tab, Layer Properties, Storm, highlight that. I'm going to change that to a blue just so I can see it a little bit better. Maybe a 141. It doesn't matter what the color is. I just need something that is different. Actually, I'm going to change that to magenta just so it pops so I can see it. All right, so the storm is the magenta line. All right, so in the next video, well, I'll go ahead and do the sewer line too. So I'm going to do 3P, and I'm going to do it from the center point here. All right, I'm not going to do it from the center point because if I put a manhole over here, it's literally laying on top of the storm. So I'm going to put the manhole back here along this alignment. So I select this point, and then a sewer manhole can only be 400 feet away. So I'm going to hit F3, F8, so it's going along this direction. So I'm going to go 400 feet, and that'll be where my next manhole is. Okay? And then I'm going to tie it into the last manhole to the center. Now, so I'm going to change it to its properties. I'm going to put this on the sanitary line. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this 3D polyline, and it's going to be at 220. I'm going to start a foot below that. So it's going to be 224. And I said that I was 400 feet away. So 224 minus 400 times 0.0. I'm going to make it at a 1% slope. So this is going to be 222 for vertex 2. And then the last vertex, I have to check what that distance is. So center to the end point here is 153.26 minus 153.26 times 0.01. Going to do a 1%. So this last invert here is going to be, let me click on the polyline. So 2, 3, my last invert is going to be 218.46. Okay? Now, so we've got our polyline set. That's all I'm going to do for this video, and then I'll start showing you how to do the storm and sewer networks in the next video.